Hello and welcome to the Persistent Postural Perceptual Dizziness Masterclass. My name is Dr. Madison Oak. I'm the Vertigo doctor, and I'm so excited that you are here today because we are going to learn all about triple PD, 3PD, whatever you want to call it, and what in the world to do about it. We're going to learn lots of stuff today. First, I want to introduce you to me, I guess, and I would love to get to know you as well. So reply to the email you got this and introduce yourself to me. I'd love to know more about you. I am a doctor of physical therapy, so that means I have a clinical doctorate in physical therapy. We all graduate as generalists, but it's way more fun to get really good at something, at least in my opinion. And so I decided I was going to become a vestibular rehab therapist. I went and got my specialty from 360 Neurohealth. That is down in Austin, Texas. I both interned for them in PT school, and I also was lucky enough to be able to take their continuing education class. So I have a certificate of competency in vestibular rehab, which really does not sound very fancy, but it's one of the highest competencies you can have in vestibular rehabilitation. I've then founded Oak Physical Therapy and Wellness and the Vertigo Doctor. I did this because all my patients back when I was working in New York City would come to me and say, like, okay, I get what you're saying in the clinic, but like I need a resource for home. And I would look for them and there just weren't any good ones. So I started the Vertigo Doctor, and one of my siblings literally was like, who's going to follow this account? And I'm like, trust me, there are people out there who are dizzy and don't know why. And so here you are today. I'm so honored that you're here and listening to this class. I won the One Who Listens Award, the OWL Award from Vita in 2022, which is a patient and client elected award, which I was absolutely honored to have gotten. Personally, I am from San Luis Obispo, California, which used to be a tiny town on the central coast of California, kind of halfway between Los Angeles and San Francisco. If you were to drive like down Highway 1, you would meet halfway in SLO. So that is where I'm originally from, I guess, sort of. I went to high school there. I was born in San Francisco, California, which is also where I went to college, but I went to graduate school at the University of Wisconsin at Madison. So go Badgers. I then moved all over the US, and ultimately my now husband and I landed in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, right where all the giant national parks are. That is where we reside. It is phenomenal. We love it here. We feel so lucky to live here now. When I'm not talking about vestibular disorders, which usually I am, literally I do in like casual conversation. My friends joke that it is my entire personality, and it's sort of not a joke because it sort of is. I love talking about dizziness, and I am so incredibly passionate about making sure that people with vestibular disorders understand what's going on in their body and have the resources to do something about them. But when I'm not doing that, I love to ski, love, love, love to ski. That's why I moved to Jackson Hole. Bake. I'm in the middle of a sourdough baking frenzy, but I am famous for my gluten-free banana bread. I can't eat gluten, so all the things are gluten-free. I'm hanging out with my dog Hugo and my husband, who we call D, and I just love to be outside, which is why we live next to the national parks. But enough about me. Today, what are we going to learn about? We are going to learn what is triple PD and why does it happen? Is it manageable? Are there cures? That's a hot question, right? And what steps can we take to manage chronic dizziness? All of these things matter. So, first and foremost, what is triple PD? It stands for persistent postural perceptual dizziness, and it is absolutely not to be confused with BPPV, which is a peripheral disorder that we're not going to talk about today, but is not the same as triple PD. Again, BPPV is benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, very, very different from persistent postural perceptual dizziness. That is what we're talking about today. We're going to call it triple PD, and it is a chronic form of dizziness that lasts greater than 90 days on most days. So it lasts for more than 90 days. It's happening on most days. It doesn't have to be happening all day. We'll go through the diagnostic criteria in a second. And it's important to understand, though, which this is also in the diagnostic criteria, a this is not a condition that happens out of nowhere. Something else triggers it. It's secondary to something. So most people in my personal clinic, this is not the only reason you can get it, but most people in my clinic have vestibular migraine, which triggers triple PD. You can have vestibular neuritis that triggers it. BPPV can trigger it. Labyrinthitis can trigger it. Meniere's disease can trigger it. I've also known people who broke their ankle and it triggered triple PD. So It really is different depending on the person, but typically it's a vestibular disorder that, like a different vestibular disorder that triggers triple PD. So if you've only been diagnosed with triple PD, your doctor's like, hey, you have chronic dizziness, it's triple PD. You need to figure out why. Um, and can it be treated? Absolutely, it can be treated. I treat it all the time. I see people get rid of triple PD all the time. That doesn't mean it might never get dizzy again, but it does mean that on most days, people are no longer dizzy. So the diagnostic criteria, everyone wants to know, like, what does it actually mean to have this? First and foremost, it means that one or more symptoms of dizziness, unsteadiness, or non-spinning vertigo are present on most days for 3 months or more. Symptoms last for prolonged periods of time, so hours to days, but they may wax and wane in severity. But again, it won't be like a quick spin, it won't be like a dropping sensation. That's not triple PD, that's from something else. Again, it can kind of come and go. Most people will say like it kind of comes when I'm moving or like something moving around me, and it goes when I am at rest typically. Symptoms need not be present continuously throughout the entire day. So that this just means again that like it doesn't have to be 24/7 365. It can be. It's definitely possible, but it doesn't have to be. So then criteria B, these are A through E. Criteria B is that persistent symptoms occur without provocation, but are exacerbated by three main factors. The first one is being upright. So usually like sitting or lying in a reclined position, not necessarily totally flat, but in a reclined position, make it worse. Active or passive motion without regard to direction or position. So typically, if you are moving, like I know someone the other day asked me, I don't feel dizzy at all until I start walking, triple PD. Exposure to visual stimuli or complex visual patterns. So, like a lot of people in my practice joke about hotel carpets and how horrible they are. Like a hotel carpet, there's nothing worse. Pay attention next time if you don't already. They're all like checkered or like wavy or whatever. They're horrible. Like that kind of visual stimuli, or going to the grocery store can also be really irritating because that is a lot of complex visual stimuli. Criteria C. This disorder is precipitated by conditions that cause vertigo, unsteadiness, dizziness, or problems with balance, including acute, episodic, or chronic vestibular syndromes, other neurological or medical illnesses, or psychological distresses. So, this is where it says something else triggers this. It's not just random triple PD. Something else happened here to cause this. That's what this is saying. When the precipitant, so when the thing that caused it is an acute or episodic condition, so think Meniere's disease is an episodic condition, symptoms will settle into a pattern of criterion A. This is criterion A. So when the precipitant is an acute or episodic condition, symptoms settle into the pattern of criterion A, and as the precipitant resolves, they may occur intermittently at first and then consolidate into a persistent course. So you may have noticed that like at first you felt like this kind of like background dizziness, rocking, swaying type of feeling, and then it's kind of gotten worse as like things go away. So like if you're in the middle of a Meniere's disease attack, and then like in between you have that like off balance, like funky feeling, the PPPD feeling, and then it goes away, and then you have another attack, and then it lasts for longer. Like the triple PD symptoms last longer next time, and then they'll slowly consolidate into being persistent triple PD as well as the Meniere's disease attacks. And then when the precipitant is a chronic syndrome, so think chronic vestibular migraine, symptoms may develop slowly at first and worsen gradually. Criterion D is symptoms cause significant distress or functional impairment. And E, which I think is pretty self explanatory. And then E is they are not better accounted for by another disease or disorder. So nothing else can account for this better than triple PD. So, what does this all mean? It means that, again, triple PD is something that does not happen primarily, it happens secondarily, and you need to be diagnosed or undiagnosed as having an underlying vestibular or anxiety or other disorder. Triple PD is a chronic condition, so it's present on most days for more than 90 days straight. And the symptoms of it, this is where people are like, does this, these are the symptoms. Non-spinning vertigo. So I'm rocking or swaying. That happens during the times you're having triple PD symptoms. There's a cloudiness, fullness, heaviness, tilting, lightness in the head, things like that. But it is not, and I would repeat, it is not oscillopsia or gaze instability. It is triple PD is not brain zaps. Triple PD is not the floor falling out from under you. Triple PD is not the room spinning, and it is not a quick spin. What else is it not? It is not progressive. So that doesn't mean that the rocking can't get worse. It just means that like it started with rocking and then I started tripping and then like all of these things started happening that are more neurological symptoms. No. There is not an indistinct onset. So like randomly one morning I woke up and now I'm dizzy, not triple PD. It shouldn't cause falls or gait disturbances or some sort of ataxic gait. If you Google ataxic gait, it shouldn't be looking like that. And it shouldn't cause falls. It might make you feel like, hey, I'm not having the greatest of balance, but it shouldn't trigger you to fall. And then constant symptoms regardless of provocation. So like I change positions, I move my head around, I whatever, it stays exactly the same. Are there cures? First of all, I want to say this is where everyone stops listening to me. So I want you to keep listening because this is really, 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 really important. There are no cures because a cure would mean you will never, ever, 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 ever in your entire life experience dizziness again. And that's just not part of the human experience, first of all. And it's also not part of the experience of a person who has a neurological tract in their brain that experiences dizziness. Does that mean you'll be dizzy forever? Absolutely not. This should be empowering for you. Dizziness will not be 24/7, 365 for the rest of your life with proper treatment. You need to have certain steps in a toolkit and all these other things. But I see people heal, I shouldn't say heal, but go into triple PD remission all the time. I see it happen all the time. I see it happen almost every single day in Vestibular Group Fit. It is treatable. And I want to be very, very clear about that because a lot of people are like, well, there's not a cure. That's depressing because like I'm just going to be dizzy forever. No, that's not what I said. And that's not what this means. This woman, Kate, she is chronic.kate on Instagram. Somehow it got whited out, but she is great. She's shared a reel publicly, and this is her caption. When you spend 1 year expecting a magic pill and VRT alone to cure your VM, just to find out the Vertigo doctor's methods worked better. This woman has both triple PD and vestibular migraine, and she's looking for a cure and then realized there are not cures, but there are ways to manage this. I am not by any means knocking medication and vestibular therapy. VRT actually helped me a lot. However, it was not the cure I was promised by multiple doctors. So many people are like, if you just go to VRT, it'll cure you. Not true. I found the deepest understanding of my condition when I found Dr. Madison at the Vertigo doctor. This then brought the greatest form of healing for me. Do I still have triple PD? Yes. Do I feel like it's slowly going away? Also, yes. I never thought it would go away until learning so much on how to get better from Vestibular Group Fit. I found Dr. Madison in November and it's only March and my life is completely different. The mindset shift I have experienced for the positivity of this group is unreal, which led me to a point where I can barely feel my triple PD symptoms. I truly believe I will see dizzy-free days just based on the last 3 months' progress. Thank you so much. Dr. Madison had zero involvement in me making this reel. She didn't ask me to make it, and there are no motives behind it aside from this. I made it because her and her team have been saving my life, and I just want everyone who's struggling with this potentially find what I found in this group. So we love Kate. Kate did this without me asking. Seriously, what a great human being. And what a great thing to be able to say, like, hey, my triple PD is going away. Things are getting better. She joined at the end of November 2023. And by the beginning of March 2024, she's like, I'm feeling so much better. And this is a person who took Zoloft and SSRI, which that's by no means a bad medication for some people. It's like a life changer, but it made her feel worse and more anxious. She's like, everything makes me feel so horrible and so anxious. And her very, very, very first message to me was, oh God, I can't believe I'm just finding your account now. After 10 months of torture, I'm so desperate for help. And literally 10 months of like chronic dizziness. And within like a 4-ish month period, she is absolutely thriving. So seriously, like you are not alone. So, what's the first part of finding the underlying condition? Does that mean you can't start like a treatment program or vestibular group fit or VRT without an underlying condition? Not necessarily, But again, it is triggered by something else. So try and find what that is, especially if it's vestibular migraine, because sometimes we need to build a bigger bucket before we can do anything else. And that is what we work on in Vestibular Group Fit. How exactly do we treat it? So first we find that underlying condition, right? And then after that, we work on movement, mindset, support, and education. Moving your body, changing your mindset. I always say mindset first and everything else comes second. But then supporting yourself, getting support from your peers, so incredibly important. And then getting educated. What is triple PD? Why is it happening? What are the things that I can do on a regular basis to undo this kind of dizziness? Vestibular Group Fit is how you do this. I see this happen almost every single day, if not every single day, in Vestibular Group Fit, because this is the only all-in-one vestibular disorder management platform that combines the power of holistic movement and education to help support you at home and change your mindset, change your whole treatment plan. Again, we have movement, we have mindset, we have support, and we have education, and all of them are so incredibly important. Workout classes designed to strengthen your vestibular system, and they were 100% modifiable. We will walk you through how to scale the whole 9 yards, because you should not run a marathon on a broken hamstring, right? Or a torn hamstring, right? You should not start doing 45 or 50-minute workout classes with super bright lights and someone yelling at you when something's going on with your vestibular system, right? You should start with 3 minutes at a time, maximum. So we talk all about scaling. Mindset, we're going to rethink how you think about your symptoms. This is why I say mindset comes first, everything else comes second. Education. There is a new educational chapter released almost every 3 weeks, if not every single week, between like the new meditations and the new how-tos of every week in the education premium content section. It is so important to get educated on what's going on in your body, because nothing will be more helpful than that. And then support. We are unlike any other support group. If you're going to ask a question in the main group, it has to be a helpful question for you and or for someone else. What I mean by that is we do not allow just like ranting on the Facebook page about like this, and this. No, you can do that in the Healing is Never Linear side chat of the Facebook group, 100%. Everyone's having bad days once in a while, right? It happens. We sometimes just like need to let it out there. There's a specific place for that. But the main Facebook group is unbelievable because we share wins, we share good things that are happening, and we ask constructive questions. And that makes it so much different than every other Facebook support group on the planet. So again, into gentle movement. Research shows that those who are exercise and physically active have less dizziness and suffer less from dizziness than those who do not. So Vestibular Group Fit, if you were here on day one, was just a workout class. Now it is so much more than a workout. I cannot even stress that enough, how much other stuff is in here that are important for you. But we want to help you prevent attacks and prevent flares, right? So there is going to, of course, be the movement aspect of this. First, become a physical therapist, and second of all, because not enough people are moving their bodies, and we absolutely need to. But we're going to strengthen both your mind, your body, and your vestibular system. We're going to strengthen all three. And this is designed to help you get the absolute most out of your movement while strengthening your vestibular system, strengthening your mind body connection, building muscle mass, which helps neuroplasticity. It all is in one like complete circle, right? The movement supports the mindset supports the education supports the other ones, your support supports everything. It is doing all of them at once, but we'll break it down slowly on how to actually get there. 2 is mindset. This is the second part of triple PD management, right? Not only of Vestibular Group Fit, but if you're managing triple PD, I don't care who you are, where you're going to rehab, what you're doing, what your plan of care is, you have to change your mindset. And if you don't, this doesn't go away. I'm going to tell you straight up. Breaking the dizzy, anxious, dizzy cycle is an absolute must, because the more your brain thinks about something, perseverates on something, and fears something, the more your brain is going to send that signal. So we need to stop. Take a moment, take a beat, and learn how to stop the chronic dizziness by showing our brain signals of safety in stressful situations. You can do this on your own, or you can join us in group. It's completely up to you. But doing this on your own is a lot more difficult because we need to actually learn how to do the safety signals, right? Stop fearing the next attack. The more we fear the next attack, the more we fear the dizziness, the worse the dizziness gets. I see it time and time again. I get dizzy, and then dizziness is objectively terrifying. And so then you get anxious, and then the anxiety triggers the dizziness to get worse. And then it just goes in that dizzy, anxious, dizzy cycle, right? So we need to get in tune with your body again. Your body is smart. And we need to learn to tune in to what exactly it needs. There are somatic practices, there are mindfulness work, there's self-compassion work. All of the things combined are what's going to help you slowly shift your mindset. And I know people like, I'm never going to get over this. I'm never going to change my mindset. I'm never going to be in a not fearful place. But I see people like you do this process every single day and get so much better. The support. I talked about this before, of course, but there's a safe space for discussion, sharing personal experiences, and getting helpful advice from experts. So myself and Dr. Jenna and all of the other coaches are educated in their specialty. So whether that is Pilates and yoga and adapting that, or vestibular disorders themselves, every single one of our coaches is certified in what they do, and many of them have vestibular disorders or they're a physical therapist themselves. So seriously, this is the best group of people to get advice from. And then myself and Dr. Jenna Green are the two people who you're going to get the most advice from. And we are both very educated vestibular therapists. This is what we do for work. You are always going to ask a question and get an answer. Ask a question, get an answer. Always, always, always from either other people in the community, but always, always, always Dr. Jenna or myself first and foremost, because you need to have the right answer the first time without going down a Google rabbit hole. We feel so incredibly strongly about that. Education. Understanding what is going on in your body is vital, because guess what? Knowledge is power. And the more that you understand what's going on inside of your body, the more you can put a pin in, like, oh, this is what's happening. And I'm going to think a different way, shifting that mindset, right? So this education is so, so powerful and so, 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 so important. I cannot stress it enough, because going to the doctor for 15 minutes is not enough time to learn about what is going on in your vestibular system, in your body, in your brain. It's just not enough time. We're going to help you understand your triggers, the underlying causes of your anxiety, how to manage them, what your vestibular disorder is. And this is all going to be based on a very short 4-question onboarding quiz that's going to completely customize your coursework in Vestibular Group Fit. This is something new we added 6 months ago. It has gone over incredibly well. Everyone is thrilled with it. You click your diagnoses, or if you don't have one, you click I don't have one, and we're going to walk you through exactly what things it might be and how to talk to your doctor about that. So all of these are also incredibly important. So let's take a deep breath, maybe take a sip of water, maybe close your eyes for a second, and I want you to imagine your life where you can plan a trip with your family without thinking it's going to be a total disaster because of your dizziness. Imagine a life where you can go on a walk by yourself, get lost, and come home feeling still like yourself, feeling good, feeling great. Where you can just wake up and feel like yourself again. Where you can function on a basis without dizziness being at the forefront of your mind, being present with your family, your loved ones, instead of focusing, am I going to get dizzy? Am I going to get dizzy? That's the first thing we're going to stop. Imagine a life where dizziness is not your 24/7, 365 life. That's what we do here. That's what I do best. It is all possible. I'm just going to read you a couple of things. Jennifer played pickleball and worked out on the same day, did some rest, and then went to a busy restaurant for dinner. All the normal things in one day, no dizziness. Connie, who lives in Canada, drove herself an hour to go across the border to go shopping at a mall in Michigan for the day. And her neck feels so good from the 6-week neck protocol that she hasn't felt the need to go to her osteopath for 5 weeks in a row, and she used to go weekly over the last year. Ashley was able to go on a 4-mile hike and went to a mini amusement park with her husband and toddler for the first time since Vertigo started a few months ago. She's feeling more like herself and was so happy, just smiling and moving around, even watching her son on the rides. What a blast. I joined this group on January 19th, 2023. This morning, I've had no dizziness for the first time since July 12th, 2022. I know how fast that can change, but for now, I'm just happy to enjoy this and even manage a workout this morning at home. Dizzy free for the first time since December of 2021. I want you that to sink in for a second. I've been getting through the modules little by little, and it's been amazing how much just education and lifestyle changes and mindset can make you feel so much better. I'm so glad I'm here. Every single one of these patients has triple PD. Some of them have it from long COVID, some from vestibular migraine, some from vestibular migraine concussion, some from migraine and concussion, some just from vestibular migraine. It could be from anywhere, but all of the people have triple PD and are thriving. So it's time for you to stop trying to treat yourself on YouTube, wondering why you're feeling dizzy all the time and that nothing is getting better, blaming yourself for your vestibular disorder. Absolutely not. Paying endless money to doctors who just don't get it or even know what's going on with you, or fearing the symptoms and feeling like you're in a never ending spiral. The spiral needs to stop. That's what I am here for. That is what I am here for. When you are ready to start investing in yourself, that's what this is for. You're going to understand your vestibular disorder, strengthen your vestibular system and your mind and your body, reduce migraine attacks if you have them, stop the dizzy, anxious, dizzy, triple PD cycle, strengthen your body and your mind, get the support that works for you, manage your symptoms, and help you live your life again. That's what we do here. Jerry says, thanks to this group, I've gained much more confidence to get back to moving without fear. Sure, my vestibular issues have slowed me down, but I keep pushing through, and I'm learning it's okay to be honest with myself and everyone else. Sometimes I just need a break and rest, and that's okay. I can also now better trust myself to move, listening more keenly to my body, and also just in the last few days, understanding more about pain and fear. I can identify my struggles more clearly, and I am so much more hopeful. Thanks to Madison and every member in here. I want you to know that Jerry has been dizzy for over 25 years. And finally, for the first time in her life, is still living with vestibular migraine, right? She's like, sometimes I have days where things aren't 100%, but the triple PD, nope, all good. She's not dealing with that on an every single day basis, and that's where I want you to get to. She is a hooper, so she uses her hula hoop for on and off body moves that I've learned so much about. She has classes in group now, which are so much fun. But she hasn't been able to enjoy her hoop outside in a long time. But today she did a little over 15 minutes of practice this morning, all at one time, which is her hobby and her business and her favorite way to move. She's no longer feeling defeated. She's feeling a place of empowered acceptance. And when I met her, she was like, I do not know what's going on. I'm terrified of getting my vestibular tests. I might take a medication. I might not. I don't know who to go to. I've been trying to get doctors to do this for years. I've been to the emergency room for a bajillion times the last 25 years. What is going on? Being in this place of empowered acceptance and never feeling defeated. Phenomenal. Next, we have Tanya. Hello, awesome humans. I've been working on me and using all the tools I have learned from this group and put them into full motion. Being in this group and with Dr. Madison has been truly a life-changing, amazing journey. When I met her, she was going through a lot of personal stress, a lot of anxiety, and of course, vestibular migraine and triple PD. Hitting complete rock bottom after a lot of personal stress and dealing with the pandemic and losing her dog of 12 years a year and a half ago in a very traumatic way. After also dealing with her vestibular disorder for almost 10 years now. She finally said she hit rock bottom, couldn't drive, shop, walk, leave the house without having panic, anxiety attacks, dizziness, and more. Dr. Madison, I just want to say thank you for all of the support and help that you've provided me. And thank you to all the awesome members who have encouraged me. Today, I am able to drive in my car on a freeway without a panic attack. I'm starting to go into stores again, like Safeway, which has been a huge problem for me, movies again, going out with my family. And thanks to this group, I am feeling like I'm getting my life back. And I am so grateful. This is one of my favorite things because after this, she's like, Safeway, still not so sure about it. Don't love it. But then after this, a couple weeks later, she posted another post that she drove herself 15, 20 minutes to Safeway, went inside Safeway, shopped around, got a cake, drove all the way home, decorated said cake, drove to her mom's house, which I think is 10 to 20 minutes away, celebrated her mom's birthday, drove herself home, went to bed. No dizziness. That is phenomenal. That's the kind of change we want to make for you. And the last one that we'll read through is Jackie. So this one is heart-wrenching and phenomenal. 1 year ago today, my life was literally turned upside down. I was so sick with vestibular migraine and triple PD last summer that I lost 20 pounds due to extreme nausea daily, and I hardly ever slept because my bed was dropping out from under me every single night. Some days I spent 16 hours just sitting in a chair staring at the window and honestly just wishing I would not wake up the next morning to relive the hell all over again. Finally, in December, I started nortriptyline and joined this group. The education and support I've received has been exactly what I needed to get to me where I am today. I can drive, I can go to the grocery store, I can run errands, I can take my kids to school and pick them up. I've started to have outings with friends again, and now I can walk 30 minutes most days, which has me feeling a bit like my old self again. Thank you, Dr. Madison and Dr. Jenna, and everyone who has been here. That's so amazing. Your support has been vital to my recovery. Her kids are little. And in this, I didn't read this sentence, but she's also not back to her job at this point as an HIV RN, but no, she'll get there. Her kids are little, like preschool, kindergarten age, probably elementary now. She is a single mom with 2 small kids, and she is doing phenomenal. And she sent me a message a couple weeks after this that she is now back to work full time. What could be better? Implementing the things that you need to implement and getting the toolbox you need to get. She was completely off work at this time, completely off work, unemployed, panicking about what she's going to do. Joined Vestibular Group Fit, and this took probably to get to this point like a 6 months-ish. And then within a year, she's like, I'm good to go. So what is Vestibular Group Fit, right? It is workouts that are all completely scalable, everything from Pilates and Tai Chi and yoga to strength training and cardio. All scalable, which means they can be broken down to your personal needs all the time. I recommend you start with 3 minutes and no more. You get access to all the educational and lifestyle content, access to the Facebook group, unlimited access to Dr. Jenna and myself, 2 group coaching calls each month. That's a huge part of the support system that I think I forgot to mention before, but that is going to be a topic. And then after that, we are going to have an open Q&A. So anything you want to ask me, you can go ahead and ask me. A monthly balance challenge, constant new updates and new materials. I literally upload something at least once a week. Like, it is all the time because someone will ask me a question like, how do I wean off caffeine? And I'm like, oh my gosh, is that not in there? And I'll put it up there. That is up there. But for the record, things are getting put in there all the time. So you wouldn't want to leave either because like maybe the answer to your question is coming. Weekly goal setting and sharing our wins. So every Monday we set goals. Every Sunday there is an affirmation, and every Saturday there is win sharing. So share all the things that you've accomplished. There's the how to do anything content, which is phenomenal. It's how to do anything from get in the shower and wash your hair to how to use screen time again. New meditations every other week, 30% off all supplements, which truly so this is for the US, pays for most people's subscriptions. People will send me their receipt very often and be like, I saved $120 this month because supplements add up. This stuff is not cheap. So 30% off all your supplements. It is the biggest discount that I can give you. It is bigger than all of the other discounts that all of the other influencers on full script give you. It's the biggest one. And then 10% off in Canada. Of course, I wish I could make it more. It's not possible. It's just the way that it works. So then there's the 6-week neck strength protocol, which is also a huge bonus because this is the exact same protocol I use in my one-on-one practice. Of course, it's not diagnostic. Of course, it's not official medical treatment, but it is the neck strengthening protocol, pretty much verbatim, but not specific, right? It's in a group program that I use in my one-on-one practice. So who is this for? If you're a person who's searching for an all-in-one, finally getting a comprehensive, holistic, top-down level view approach to your dizziness, this is for you. If you want an option that doesn't just involve giving you more medications. Now, I am neither pro nor con meds. You do what's right for your body. But I'm going to give you not only information about what to do with a vestibular disorder, but all of the other things that meds don't cover. My motto is it's never just one thing. It's never just medication. It's never just sleeping better. It's never just this. It's always a big group of things all together that makes you feel better. And I am here to offer you all of the things. We call it the wheel of management. If you're ready to put in the daily work and effort, this is not something that you can just sign up for and then set it and forget it and be like, okay, hope I get better. Nope. This is for you if you're ready to actually put in the work, which I know if you're watching this, you are, to heal dizziness and vestibular disorder. If you feel like you've tried everything, nothing works, and no one understands, this is for you, because it's not like this is rocket science. This is, yes, a method that I have thought of. I call it the OAK method. It's movement, mindset, support, and education. And there are very specific reasons and research backed for all of those things, putting those all into play at the same time, using the start here content, using the educational content, using the basics content, which we slowly, like a turtle, walk you through. That is what's going to make you feel better. So, of course, what's the cost? We think it's absolutely unreasonable for you to spend $700 for a single visit to a specialist and not even get the answers that you need. So it's $85 a month, billed every 3 months for a 3-month commitment, and $70 a month for a 6-month commitment. This gets you an all access pass to everything. Everyone always asks me, does this really get me everything? Yes, it gets you everything. From access to my brain, to the educational content, to the workouts. It gets you everything. And for watching this video, of course, I want to give you a discount. So 15% off for watching this video. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sticking with me. Use the code PPPD at checkout, 3PD. All just 4 letters, PPPD. That will get you a 15% discount, which is going to save you, I think, $63.75. Yes, it's going to save you $63.75 off your first subscription. So why is this different? Is this actually going to work? I feel like I've tried literally everything and spent thousands of dollars. I know people who have spent $20, $30, $40, $50,000 on their vestibular treatment and nothing has worked, and this has. I know them. Why is this different? Because this focuses on the 4 pillars of overall health and wellness for migraine and vestibular disorders and PPPD. It's everything all in one place, put together by experts to make sure you get access to the highest quality of care possible. We're going to make sure you get referred to the right people. We're going to make sure you get the answers to all your questions. We're going to make sure you are feeling better faster. So do I have to sign up for a long-term commitment? You can cancel anytime, but we do have a minimum commitment of 3 months. This is because we take regular surveys of all of our members, and we find around 45 days of consistent work and putting this into practice, people start to see the smaller wins, the smaller results. And then over 90 days, people start to see bigger results and bigger wins. And then at that like 6-month to a year mark, people start going back to work, feeling phenomenal. That's really like where the money is. But 3-month commitment is required because we really do want you to see those results. What time are classes? So every weekday at 9 and or 10 a.m. Eastern, which is New York City time, but they're all recorded 100% and can be accessed any time of the day. So you're like, that doesn't work for me. I am working. I have a meeting. I have whatever. It's all recorded. It's uploaded to the website and in the Facebook group all the time. And what if I don't have a diagnosis? So you do not need a diagnosis. I get this question all the time. I'm going to join Vestibular Group Fit only after I get my diagnosis. No diagnosis needed. Dizziness, both chronic and acute, are treated from a comprehensive level almost identically. I do at first the same things for my vestibular migraine patients, as my triple PD patients, as my Meniere's disease patients. So it is absolutely not a requirement. So come with or without one, and we'll get you started in the right direction towards healing. And also, I want you to click the I don't have a diagnosis button when you sign up, and we'll kind of walk you through different pathologies and how to talk to them, talk about them with your doctor. Of course, we do not give diagnosis here, but we will give you the education on how to talk about it with your doctor. How do I access all the materials? So this is a great question. All of the workout content and premium content is accessed through your login portal. So you will be sent a username and password once you purchase your subscription. And we'll also send you an invite to the private Facebook support group on day 1. And then we're going to kind of walk you through the things you do through a 6-month email sequence. So you're going to receive an email from me every couple of days. Hey, do this, now do this, now do this, now do that. You could do it at whatever pace you want, of course, but really sticking with my pace can be super helpful. You're going to also be asked those 4 onboarding quiz questions right when you sign up. So make sure you answer those as accurately as possible. And if you're like, I don't know if I have this diagnosis, because the first one is like, have you been diagnosed with any of these? And you click all the ones you've been diagnosed with, if you have. If you're like, I think I might have this, but I'm not sure, I recommend just clicking that button. Like, I think I might have triple PD, but I'm not sure. Just click the PPPD button because that's going to give you the information that you need about it. So again, you're saving 15% for watching this videos, and I'm going to include bonus resources, bonus materials. So there's going to be a free Better Balance ebook sent to your receipt, as well as the 14-day single leg stance challenge. And that will automatically be in your account. You can search for it, or it will be in your email receipt as well. So how do I join? Step 1, follow the link in this email or below this video. Step 2, add the subscription you want, either 3 or 6 months to your cart, and then use the code PPPD. Remember, that's just 4 letters, PPPD, to save $63.75 off your first subscription. Exciting stuff. We'll send you all the confirmation emails and all of the things that you need in order to get with the program. So I cannot wait to see you in there. Please, please, please join us. If you have any questions whatsoever, I'm here to help you answer them. You have a question, I have an answer. That is my whole full-time job. So I love you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Hopefully you have a better understanding of triple PD. And remember, triple PD gets better. You are not going to be in a place where you are dizzy 24/7, 365 forever. I love you, and I'll see you later. See you in the group.